Let's do it.
Pro Fan Sports Podcast, baby. We in here. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, John Altidor, Pro Fan Sports Podcast. I'm here with my boys, Barry and Vlad. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's going on, guys? How we doing?
What's up, John? What's up, Barry? What's up, the fans?
Pro fans out there, what the heck's going on? If you've been tuning in for the last few weeks, we've always started the show with how's everybody doing, with the coronavirus and all that stuff, and not to forget about what's going on out there, but I feel like everybody's gotten used to it now, so I am gonna say it's good to see you both. You're both looking healthy and you're still doing your thing out there. Got the new mask I see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mask, but how y'all doing though? What's going on?
Doing well. Can't complain. Getting used to it. This the money quarantine lifestyle that I've been living lately. Getting used to living it every day, and and doing the social distancing thing more. We went out of the house a few less times this week than the previous week, so I've been definitely self-isolating and quarantining as much as I can when I'm not working and don't have to leave the house. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Got me a new mask this week, as y'all can see. I just came in, so I definitely wanted to rock it today. And yeah, I'm feeling good and feeling ready to do another show. Blessed to be here with you guys and being able to do what we love to do.
Yeah. Vlad, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. Tired of this quarantine, to be honest.
It's crazy.
I know.
Go ahead, man. Sorry about that.
Now you're good. Just tired of it. Just want to get back to some kind of normal. This is not normal, you know what I mean? Just want to be able to go out whenever I want. I want to be able to go out to eat, go to work. Like, I've been going to work, but it's like one day this week, couple days next week, and it feels weird, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to get back to my normal life, but I'm sure that's everybody.
Yeah, man. And for you, I forget you got your platform you got going on. Let's Eat Anything, right?
Yeah. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Let's Eat Anything. If you type in on Instagram, it'll just show up. All my pictures will show up, and So I used to do that, once a week. I'll go out to a restaurant, take some pictures, put it on Instagram, and I just haven't been able to do that the last month, basically. But anyways, I'm looking forward to doing that whenever this is over.
Yeah, no, but I still been seeing you. You're doing the home cooking and stuff too, so.
A little bit of home cooking, you know what I mean? You gotta keep some kind of posting up on the gram.
Yeah, for real though. So if you're looking for some places to go out, if you're looking for some recommendation, just hop on Instagram. Let's Eat Anything. This guy got good advice for you. So that's
sure.
But I mean, I guess that can attest to. Well, I guess I can go to the next question I wanted to ask. What are you guys looking forward to doing after this quarantine is over?
For me, I'm looking forward to traveling again. I was traveling a lot before this coronavirus had hit, so I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to going to the bars and the restaurants and being able to go outside and outdoors as the weather warms up, and being able to do outdoor activities, since I know it's getting kind of tough for me because I'm not a person that's home very much, so new quarantine thing is taking me a while to get used to, but I'm definitely looking forward to doing those things. I'm going to be going on a lot more trips, after as soon as this thing is over. So I'm definitely dying to get out of here and and go somewhere outside of the state as soon as we're all cleared and safe to do so.
Yeah, facts. Me myself, it's gonna be funny because I'm just looking forward to going back to work, man. I feel useless sometimes, man. I'm still doing work at home, but I think you said that you know how that works. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like
Pretty much.
I still do work, but it's like I don't know, it just doesn't feel like work anymore.
Yeah.
Disassociated, like no coworkers and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of funny. You realize how how they make a part of everything that's going on. But that's good though, man. So I know you're probably looking to get back into the restaurants, doing some of your reviews. Anything else you're trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to go back to that. I also just want to see my friends. I want to go to my boys' house, just chill, get a drink, go to the bar, get a drink. Just being able to do whatever I want, man. Barry, where you trying to go after this?
Me, I'm trying to go everywhere, pretty much anywhere that I can be able to go. I'm a pretty spontaneous person, so I don't have anything planned as of right now. I was just gonna say there's a few places that I have in mind that I'd like to go to, but nothing to claim to share. Like, for example, I'd like to go to Dominican Republic again. I was there a couple of years ago in 2018, and I really loved it out there and enjoyed my vacation and my time over there. So I'd like to go back there. I'd also like to go to the West Coast again. I'd like to go to LA again. I was there last year, around this time actually, and I really enjoyed being in LA and being with those West Coast vibes, and I feel like it's a totally different kind of scenery, and probably it seems like you're in a different country when you're over there. So I definitely would want to go back to those places, and I'd also want to go to Jamaica as well, since I've never been and heard it's pretty lit and it's pretty dope over there as far as like the vibe and everything. So I think those are like my top places I'd like to go as soon as we're able to travel, and as soon as this quarantine lifestyle that we're all living and going through is over with.
I didn't know Barry traveled that much. That's what's up.
Oh yeah, man, it's true. That's how the big money lifestyle started, and how I got to this point. Like, just like you doing your food thing. Like me, I love doing my travel thing. Like the last, I want to say 3 years, I've gone on so many trips in and out of the country.
That's what's up.
Last year, I think I went on like 7 or 8 trips alone. Like I was taking trips legit. I'd probably say on average every 2 months, sometimes even less than that. Sometimes it would be like back-to-back months where I'd go on trips. So it's, travel is something that I really enjoy doing. I really want to travel the world. That's like one of my big life goals. And always, seeing different places and seeing new, cultures and new, ways of life is something that I've, always been into and always enjoyed doing whenever I got the opportunities to. So I'm looking forward to doing that, pretty soon as we're done with this, cool quarantine thing.
Got you. Hey John, what are you trying? What are you trying to do after this is over?
I mean, it's kind of funny during this whole quarantine thing. I've been busier than ever. Just trying to get this podcast out there, trying to put out put out content constantly. So if you're on Instagram, profans underscore sports, you'll see that on an hourly basis. There's content there. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, you'll see that we're not even on Tumblr. So I've been pretty busy,
Yeah.
outside of like not being able to go into work, which I'm still working. I've still been pretty busy. Other than that, though, I definitely want to go and travel because I feel like I don't do a lot of that.
Yeah.
When these things happen, it's kind of like it opens your eyes a little bit. Like you better go out there and do something before
I know.
you're not hearing
Right,
you don't
right.
have that time anymore. So
Exactly.
rest in peace to all the people that are lost due to this whole situation. But I'm definitely looking forward to doing some things. But what I am gonna do though is I'm gonna wait, for I don't know, a couple of weeks, a couple of months before I decide to book a vacation. Because I really don't trust what's going on out there. They're talking about opening things up. I'm like,
And
did the Corona package stuff up? And like, I don't.
Right.
I don't.
everybody and their mother is gonna be out there as soon as this is over.
Yeah,
So
so I don't want to be with them.
I don't wanna catch the second wave of this thing or the third wave of this thing. So
Right.
I'm definitely gonna stay inside for at least a couple of months before let everybody else get out first and
Yeah,
then
y'all go test this stuff. Y'all go get it.
yeah.
I'll get back. Well, I might not see you. I think we're all looking forward to getting out there at some point, once this thing is over. But I think we're all erring on the side of caution because we don't want to be part of that second wave,
Nah.
getting stuck in other countries and other states and all that stuff. That's not for me.
Right. Me either. Even as much as I love traveling,
Yeah.
I definitely don't want that to happen to myself.
I'm gonna wait for a couple, Let's see, because I know the airlines too. They're about to do some stuff to the ticket prices when people start traveling again. So I'll let that wave of expensive travelers go, and then when things kind of get back to normal a little bit, that could take some time now for things to get back to normal.
Yeah, but you rather do that than be safe and then travel.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely rather be safe, especially because I want to take my daughter out to some places.
Yeah.
Plane before, so I don't want the first time she get on a plane,
Yeah, something bad happens.
we get stuck somewhere.
Right.
The second wave of the corona.
Oh boy.
And this time it's gonna be the Corona 20 hit. I don't want to see none of that. But yeah, let's continue here. So shout outs to the WNBA. This week they had their virtual WNBA draft, where they did this nice tribute for Alyssa Altidor, Gianna Bryant, and Peyton Chester. People don't know what that is. It's actually the kids that died in the helicopter crash with Kobe Bryant back on January 26th, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So before everything started hitting the fan, those girls were aspiring to be WNBA players someday, especially Gianna Bryant, because she already had picked out her school. She wanted to go to UConn, and that's what she was working towards. So all those girls had a dream, a plan of being in the WNBA at some point. And it was cool to see them give them a tribute, call out their numbers before the draft happened. And just shout outs to the NBA. Did you guys see any of that?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I saw, how they did, the tribute with those three girls, which was really nice and pretty awesome to, for them to honor those three girls that way who definitely did have aspirations of one day playing in the NBA when their time came and when they were ready to do so. Also saw the, video of Vanessa, Bryant, Kobe Bryant's wife, pretty much speaking be on his behalf as well as the other two girls. So that was really nice to to see her congratulate all the draft picks and congratulate the three girls, and and also and just nice to see in general. So it was definitely touching, for them to do that, because I'm still not completely over what happened and transpired that day with that tragedy, and still feel really bad for the whole family and all the families that are currently mourning and going through that, because that takes a whole lot of time to get over something like that, if you ever do. So yeah, it was definitely a great thing for the WNBA to do, and I'm glad that they did it. It was well deserved. So shout out to the WNBA for doing something classy like that to start the draft off this year.
Yeah, as far as the draft goes, I mean, the WNBA tributes to those girls. I think that was very impressive. Call it basically what they did is they drafted those girls to the WNBA, and you just can't say enough about that. And those girls were aspiring to be WNBA players, like you said, John. And the WNBA commissioner, she said those girls were supposed to be the member city, players. Like they were supposed to be like the new wave of girls or whatever. And I think it was just really nice, really classy. It was just well done.
Yeah, for sure. No, shout out to them, man. Just the WNBA as a whole, man. They don't get as many views as they should. Because I feel like they're not advertised very well. A lot of people don't attend the WNBA games, and I think it's because they're not that accessible to everybody. So I hope they change the way they advertise, or make it easier to go to games.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I don't know who's playing, where they're playing, where they're coming from, or anything like that.
Right.
We know a lot of the NBA players, but we don't know too much about the WNBA players. I don't know if that's a combination of Bleacher Report or ESPN not spotlighting them enough. But I think they got a lot to. There's some really dope female basketball players.
They are, absolutely.
They've been a lot of dope female basketball players for a long time. So I know a lot of NBA players are they're rooting for them, they're advocating for them, but I feel like the league needs to do a little more as far as just advertising them, showcasing them. And a lot of people, they have the argument that the WNBA doesn't bring in a lot of stuff, but you know what, man, the women still deserve a league where they can go in and thrive. Like any other a league. They're professional. They put in the work. Pay them, right? I'm sure none of us could take on any WNBA players.
No, definitely not. I'm sure any one of them would bust our ass and then cook us, to say the least. Right. So no, I definitely got a lot of respect for WNBA players and and what they're doing, and also their skill level. They can definitely ball. So definitely shouldn't. No one should ever underestimate, their ability to be able to play at a high level and and play well. So
right,
yeah.
So speaking of that, they did do a virtual draft, which they've been speaking about for a long time, and all the other leagues are looking to do the same things too. So how do you guys feel about the way that draft went?
I thought it went well. I thought they did it really well because they had the commissioner announcing the picks, and then they would cut out to the players at their house, and then they would have somebody congratulating them. So they had like KD congratulating somebody, and then they would have a virtual interview with the players. I thought the cutout were really good. And I think just like anything that's been done virtual these days, if you've been following anything virtual, there's going to be some frozen parts. There's going to be a couple parts where they couldn't hear the person very well. And that's a professional league. And they had like all the technology at their advantage to do well. And that's just bound to happen. But the way it was done, I thought it was done really well. And I thought basically it made me think, okay, so this is probably how the NFL draft is going to be. So it kind of gave me a good idea of what to expect for Thursday night for the NFL draft. But I wanna kind of piggyback on what you guys were talking about as far as the WNBA not getting a lot of attention. I think it sucks. That's just women's sports in general. The thing is, money make the world works, and women's sports, unfortunately, just doesn't bring as many viewers to make as much money as men's sports. And I think that's something they need to work on. They need to, like John said, advertise it a lot more. I know the WNBA plays mostly in the summer, where people are either not watching as much sports or whatever. But I think that there's a lot that needs to be done, and that's one of the things that Kobe Bryant was focusing on once he retired. And unfortunately, we knew what happened there.
Yeah, man. For sure. Speaking of the virtual draft, I know the NFL, when we talked about the NFL doing their virtual draft, and they're talking about having Madden and blah blah. I'm like, bro, come on, man, just call out the names. All right,
exactly.
Cut out to the house, all right?
Right.
But I like that twist though with the NBA players, congratulating them. Hopefully the NFL picked up on that and is adding that onto their arsenal. Because these guys, they're not doing anything. They should be in training camp right now. Hey, listen, you should be, working your ass off right now. So, it's nothing for you to send a little congratulations videos to all the rookies that are coming in, because at the end of the day, this is different for them. This is not like any other draft class that's ever existed. They don't get to go and be part of all the festivities, and it's kind of like what's happening in all our schools with all the seniors, in high school.
Yeah.
You can't go to the prom, in this situation, you can't go to the draft. What are you going to wear? A nice tailored suit to, sit in your living room and get interviewed on TV or something through your phone. So hopefully they're not trying to overdo it like the whole Teddy Riley and Babyface thing last night. If you know what I'm talking about, and you probably find that funny. But I thought they did their virtual draft pretty well. And like I said, hopefully the NFL and the NBA, they pick up on that and run with it. You don't have to do too much. Just keep it simple and give the people what they want. And we can move on to something else that actually happened virtually: the NBA horse competition.
Oh yeah, that. that wasted time. Oh, God.
It doesn't sound like people are too excited about that right there. Vlad, you watch it?
Yeah, of course I watched it.
You watched it?
Yeah, y'all didn't watch it?
I did not watch it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Listen, I watched Trae Young and Chauncey Billups for like 2 minutes. I'm like, this ain't it, bro. The picture was so terrible. I thought it was my TV.
Nah.
Social media, they're like, yo, this is that. And I'm
like, it wasn't your TV, bro. It was everybody.
Right. It just wasn't you, John. Right.
Listen, I love sports, but like, this is not it right here. All right.
Now I'll talk about it. So what happened was, I think we talked about it last episode, which we recorded last Sunday right before the competition. And I made sure I watched it, because if I talked about it on the podcast, I don't know, I want to be able to watch it and make sure that I see what's going on, especially that we had our predictions and shit like that. So I wanted to make sure that I watched it. And then I tuned in, and what I saw, I was very disappointed at first, but I was like, I'm going to give it a try. maybe not all the cameras are gonna be like that. Maybe Paul Pierce will have a better camera, but nah, it was trash.
You think?
Yeah, exactly. It was trash all the way through. My big problem was some guys had courts, some guys just had their backyards. Like Trae Young just had like a driveway. It wasn't like a basketball court.
Yep.
If you know what I mean. And that bugged me a lot. I was like, I don't know if that's really the 3-point line. Yep. You have no lines.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like Chauncey Billups had lines, Mike Conley had lines. Everybody else had lines besides Chauncey Billups, Tamika Catchings, and Quigley. None of them had like a full court that somebody could see and be like, yeah, that's the free throw line, that's the 2-point line. And also the camera angles were bad. Somebody else was holding the camera. I don't know. I just thought it was really terribly produced. The NBA tried, but that wasn't it.
Listen, man, I know the NBA can have at least one guy in every city that can go and set up a camera and a microphone situation for these guys. I'm like, why couldn't they do that?
Well, what I thought they were gonna do, I knew they weren't gonna have somebody there because of traveling restrictions and shit like that. But I thought they were gonna send somebody like a GoPro, send everybody like a nice GoPro that they can hook up somewhere nice. That's what I thought they were gonna do.
Send a drone or something. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some nerd, you could have working a drone somewhere. Nobody's around, but they can see what's going on, right? Like,
but obviously, everybody was just using their phones, which sucked.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But it was what it was. We did make predictions last week, and none of us actually came out to be right. I can say that one of my picks actually made it pretty far, right? In
Chauncey Billups. Yep.
So I can say that's the closest to a victory I'm gonna get, but Mike Conley, right? We all disrespected Mike Conley.
Yeah, I know.
He turned around and took it on us, right?
Right.
Because I remember we just slipping on Mike Conley. Right?
Yeah.
I remember saying that. But he just. That's why I said I like the quiet guys. And he's a quiet guy. He's like, oh, everybody's sleeping on me. All right, watch.
Well, I'm gonna show him something. Exactly.
I've been working all quarantine on my horse stuff.
I was
right, and he was really the only one that. Sorry to cut you off, Vlad. He was really the only one that had an actual gym that was in
indoor.
He actually invested on his craft.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
if you're a basketball player, isn't that like the first thing you need to do? Like buy a house that has a court at least or a backyard?
Yeah, but you don't think about it that way because you're like, I can always just drive down to the stadium and practice there.
Listen, all the real bosses I know have like a basement gym with a bag in it, that you're gonna hit, speed bag. Why don't you have some kind of net somewhere?
Yeah, no, I agree. They should.
Listen, I don't know. If that's my profession, I'm gonna be on it as much as possible.
I know what you're saying, but you just never think there's gonna be a time where you cannot go outside at all.
Listen, man. I was listening to Jason Tatum the other day. He's like, yo, I just ordered a hoop.
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, it's been like over a month.
Why
are you just now buying a hoop, bro? He's like, I haven't gotten no shots of Gordon Hayward. You getting paid $30 million? Why don't you have a hoop?
At your crib, exactly. They said, what you got to do with your money?
You spending your money on haircut, Gordon? Is that what you spending on your money on?
I'm going to the barber shop, fancy haircuts, and right, and freaking looking like a pretty boy.
Yeah, and video game system, PCs and shit.
Oh yeah, Fortnite, yeah.
I've been trying to tell y'all boy.
He was waiting for us.
Oh, right, bro. I've been waiting for this for
paid mad money. Like the first, listen, I need at least a hoop that's on the door, okay? Like you don't even have one of those. Like you haven't been practicing your strokes on the door,
right,
bro.
Right.
Like nothing virtually. You don't even have a virtual. Like I don't know, man. I could think of a million solutions for why these guys that are making millions of dollars should have at least something that is attributed to their profession. Like, bro, you shoot a basketball for a living. Have a basketball. You know, it's like a scientist. You're a scientist for a living. You don't have no beakers, no chemicals in the house, nothing. You don't have even have a magnifying glass, and you call yourself a scientist. Like, I don't know. I don't understand.
When Jason Tatum said he didn't have a basketball court at the crib and it's been a month, I was like, yo, what is going on, man? Because I know he lives in like a condominium or something. So that's why he doesn't. That's why he doesn't have a basketball. I understand that, but it's been a month,
bro.
You should have had it the first week.
Right.
Listen, I've heard other athletes. They've asked like their local high school to like open up the gym, like if it's them by themselves. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. If you ask somebody, yo, just open the gym up for me from 2 to 3, 2 to 4, whatever it may be. I just want to get a quick workout in. You haven't shot a basketball in over a month. The Celtics are not going into the chip, man. That's the case. Okay?
If that's where we are, we're losing, right?
Yo, wait. Dudes are at home not shooting.
Yeah, not getting
you're supposed to be one of the best shooters in the league. You're supposed to be a superstar on the rise. You just now.
So you know what's gonna happen? Whenever Jason Tatum misses a 3, we're gonna be like, that's why.
You wasn't
practicing. So you took a month off.
I see Deuce. I see Deuce taking swings.
Oh yeah.
Social media. I see Deuce.
Right.
His son. If people don't know, Deuce is his son. Deuce is practicing something.
And Gordon Hayward just gonna suck, like I already told you guys. So.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh no. But for real though, I in all seriousness, it's like, bro, you're making. Even if you're not making millions, you're making in the hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Okay, a basketball hoop. There's regular people out here with basketball hoops in their driveways.
Exactly.
Just like little kids throwing up the ball in the driveway.
Right.
Like you're making millions and you don't have a hoop for over 5 weeks. This dude said, we've been gone for like 5.5 weeks. Yeah, I have a basketball hoop coming in about a week. What, bro?
Exactly. Insane. Where have you been at? Like,
bro, DJs is open, okay? They got basketball hoops. Go pick one up.
That's the biggest shit in my head moment right there. Right. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable.
I love Taylor. That was
me too. I love JT.
But I had to get that in there.
I'm so glad you got that in there.
Right. ASAP. Right. We need you to get in the gym or get on some sort of basketball court. It's like an outdoor court, and he's supposed to have that mom mentality.
You're Kobe. You're Kobe.
Right. Like he was working out with Kobe in the summer, in the off season.
You think Kobe would take 5 weeks off?
Hell no, absolutely not. Kobe wouldn't even take a week off,
bro.
5 weeks, 2 days.
Kobe's like, all right, we're gonna have to do something about this, right?
Right. I'm gonna have to get some sort of court or find some sort of gym to go to. Exactly.
I don't know, man. Speaking of Kobe and Michael Jordan's last dance tonight.
Yes.
It's tonight.
That's right. I can't wait. Yes.
Let's get it. So I mean, we all know how this whole situation came about. I think we all were thinking about it. Why is the documentary coming out all the way in June? But some of the players actually pushed that forward, and ESPN seemed like they listened. Richard Jefferson and LeBron James were doing their little live call, the Zoom calls, which we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And they spoke about why Michael Jordan is not dropping his stuff right now. I don't know if Michael Jordan is the one that has the last say or whatever, But
He
they
does
were wondering,
actually.
does he? They were wondering
Yeah.
why are they still waiting until June when there's a lockdown? I mean, we're quarantined. There's no games on TV. Why wouldn't you get all the eyes right now? So I can imagine tonight it's going to be it's going to do numbers for a documentary. For sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely going to do numbers. What are you guys most looking forward to?
For me, I'm most looking forward to how Jordan's life off the court was, not so much, well, I'm always looking forward to the on the court stuff too, don't get me wrong, and, the behind the scenes and like how it was in practice, but I'm looking forward to, what, some of the things he did, off the court, like, the day before games, I know he was, big into gambling and, going to the casinos. So I'm looking forward to seeing like how he lived, his life, off the court and what he would do before, games and going into the gym and playing basketball. So that's something that I'm definitely very intrigued and I can't wait to see tonight.
Yeah, Vlad, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, pretty much same thing as Barry. I'm basically looking for the behind the scenes stuff. Micheal with, especially Phil Jackson, just their relationship. I'm looking forward to that a lot. A little clip came out showing Jordan had friction with the general manager of the Bulls at the time. So I want to see some of that friction and what caused that. Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna show Micheal in a bad light, really, just because he had control over the tapes and exactly what's gonna be on the documentary. So I don't think anything bad is gonna come out about him, really. But it'll be exciting to see his passion for the game behind the scene and especially in practice and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that.
I mean, we all know Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up watching him, right? So for me, I'm just looking to learn as much as possible as far as like Michael Jordan, the guy. Who was he? What was he like? Of course, I've seen, other, pieces, documentaries, 30 for 30s and things like that. So I do know some stuff, but I'm looking forward to like learning something new, maybe something I didn't know before. I'd really like to know like the whole story because he is a legend, and a lot of times with these things, they just expect you to like, hey, if you say, this guy's a legend, then I guess he must be a legend, because that's why there's like the whole debate with Michael Jordan and LeBron right now, right? Because some people consider LeBron the best because that's who they grew up watching, right?
Yep.
I can say right now, the people that are in power, like the media and stuff like that, those people grew up watching Jordan. So right now, in their opinion, that's like God, So I just really want to see like what everybody else,
What's
see
talking about?
like that. That would be cool. Other than that, anything else you guys wanted to add about the last names?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. No, I was also agree with that. I was looking up some stuff last night about the relationship that Michael Jordan had between him and his GM and how that fell off and then how the GM ended up like not wanting to bring Phil Jackson back and saying that this is going to be before that season, that is going to be like his last season as the coach of the Bulls, and then Jordan saying that he didn't want to come back to the Bulls and playing for another coach. And then them not wanting to resign, Scottie Pippen to a long-term deal and pay, him a big contract. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how like all that started about and what and that's what really became about that as well. So, I'm definitely excited about this documentary, and we'll definitely be tuning in at 9 o'clock tonight on the ESPN.
Yes, sir. 9 o'clock, you said?
Yes, sir. 9
That's
p.m.
when it starts?
Yep. 9 p.m. tonight, Eastern time.
I thought it was going to be like regular, like 7 o'clock or something. That's when I was going to tune in anyway.
No. It's at 9 tonight.
9 o'clock, baby.
Yes, sir.
You'll probably see some of this before you see this podcast, but, for the next time, it's probably going to be at the same time. Or just look up the schedule on ESPN. You should be able to find that. But moving on to some more NBA stuff. Maybe not so much NBA stuff, but like the G League. You guys hear about the G League this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the prospects. They signed two high-ranking prospects.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jalen Green.
When I seen that, I posted about it. Again, ProFans_sports on Instagram. I posted about it and I said that the NBA is in trouble. I mean, not the NBA, the NCAA is in trouble. Right?
Yep.
But now, guys that could have gone straight from high school to college. I mean, straight from high school to the NBA, they're not going to go into college right now. They're just going to go into the G League for that 1 year, and probably get drafted next year. Right? Is that how it goes, or team signs them?
Say that again.
Like how it goes, right? Would it be that they sign to a G League team, right? Do they go into the draft the next year, or does a team get to sign them because they're in the G League already?
They go into the draft.
Okay.
Right.
So they still get to have that draft experience.
Exactly.
They still get drafted.
But before then, I'm gonna get this $500,000 real quick.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to the bag. Exactly.
Yeah. Let me get to the bag so next year when I come in, I can buy my own suit instead of borrowing one.
Yeah.
Right.
Having a tailor call me and tell me they're gonna dress me, I'm gonna just buy my own joint. Right.
Fact. Exactly.
Man, I definitely thought that the NCAA was in danger, but then I kind of changed my mind over the week. But I wanted to hear what your thoughts on it was.
I think it's a good thing. I think you have guys like LaMelo Ball that goes overseas because they can get drafted straight to the NBA. And I think it's providing another avenue instead of forcing guys into college. It's providing another avenue for guys to get into the NBA and also for them to get paid. The NCAA, it's this weird setup where guys are busting their butt, bringing tons of money to the colleges, but they're not getting paid for it. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think this is setting them up to get paid and to get drafted to the NBA. I think it's great. I love it.
Yeah, no, facts. Yeah, Barry, did you have a thought on it before I go in?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I would definitely agree with Vlad in terms of this being a really good thing for Jalen Green as well as future prospects that come into the NBA and are interested in playing in the league. I'm glad that this happened and that the NBA is starting to figure out other ways for these prospects to be able to develop their game before they get drafted instead of having to go to overseas or go to college. So I'm glad that they implemented this system and this new G development program for prospects like Jalen Green that can be able to get paid and to make money before they enter the league and get drafted by a team. I certainly think you're right that the NCAA is in some big time trouble because now these prospects are gonna look at what Jalen Green did and want to follow suit and go a similar route successful and plays well. Particularly in his rookie season when he does get, drafted, then I think more and more guys are definitely gonna take it seriously and, consider going through the program. So I'm glad that Adam Silver was able to, figure out a way to, get these kids, get them, doing something that's going to benefit their, their future in the league and not have to, go to, college for that 1 year and, risk themselves and risk, their health and not really, make anything out of their time over there. So it's definitely a really good step in the right direction for the league and for the years to come.
Yeah. So like I was saying initially, I thought it was a bad thing, but then I actually thought about it, and I think it's actually a good thing on all fronts, right? And here's what I mean, right? For the NCAA, right, it's a good thing if the players that are coming out of high school that are clearly good enough to be in the league, they don't have to go into your system because they're only going to be there for 1 year anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to give somebody a scholarship that's going to be there for 1 year. Yes, it's going to get you ratings and things like that, but then that's only for 1 year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, it really depends on your conference, how big of a school you are too. So not every school is benefiting off of this, right? That's one thing on how the NCAA is going to win. Another reason is the kids you get are going to be in your school for 4 years now, right? Because they need that development through your league, right? The NBA is going to win because of that, because now you're going to get a lot more college kids that are coming out of college ball that have been playing organized ball on a high level for 4 years,
mm-hmm.
right? Instead of projects that are coming out that you really don't know if they're going to pan out. Taking a kid right out of high school, that's a big gamble.
Yeah.
When you give a kid a lot of money, you don't know what happens to their psyche. You don't know what happens to their work ethic. Think about it. You've been struggling, and then boom, at 18, you get millions of dollars. You know what our kids do these days? They don't have no sense of pride a lot of times, and they think they're going to be given everything, and they're pretty quick to quit, right?
Yeah.
So, I think the NCAA wins in that sense too, and then it helps out the coaches too, right? Because now you're not having to replenish your program every year because you had 2, 3, 4 guys that have to leave, right? And now you can do better and instill skills into these guys that are actually going to be with you for 4 years, right? Now, a reason it's good for the NBA is now these high-end players, they don't have to go overseas. And overseas is not getting the eyes that you should be having, right?
Yeah.
Look at LaMelo Ball. NBA scouts have to go to Australia, to go see them play, right? Other players, they got to go to Spain to travel. So that helps out the NBA because now their scouts don't have to travel so far to go scout a guy that's going to be in the league, right, in a year. So that's good for them. And they can already start with molding these guys in the G League once they come in, right? They get 1 year of professional play before they actually get drafted. And now you get even more of a college person. If they were 18 and they just coming out of high school, now you just had a whole year where you've been getting paid for this, right?
Yep.
Within a year, you can tell, hey, this kid's getting this amount of money. Is he actually continuing to work, or did he get this money and things changed?
Yep.
So now before you get into the NBA, you know this person's happy because you've seen it, you had a trial, right? And I think that's why it's pretty good on everybody's front. And it's good for the families because now, hey man, like our family's been struggling. I'm in the league and I can help out my family. I'm using my skills to to help out my family. And it's like, it's not fair looking at all the other leagues like soccer. People can go in there and be pros at 14, right? In hockey, it's like 16, you can be a pro. Golf or whatever, as long as you have the skills, you can go pro. But then basketball, you gotta wait and go through a whole bunch of stuff to make it, even though you know you got the skills, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's it for me.
I think that's a great point, John. You broke it down really well. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about both sides of the coin, but the way you describe it, it's basically benefiting both sides.
It benefits everybody.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I definitely thought NCAA was going to be in trouble, but think about that too. How many of those kids can actually go right into the NBA?
Well, I think they might still be in trouble. I don't know exactly. They might not. It's not. I mean, the NCAA is like, it's really big, so it's not like they're gonna crumble or something. But the prospects that they would have gotten that would have brought a lot of TV ratings, they're not gonna get those prospects anymore.
Yeah, but then you can grow the prospects you have. Imagine a guy coming in year one, and it's like one of those guys that's coming out this year in the draft. He started out, redshirting, and then I forget his name. He's like one of the best big men in the draft, actually. A senior now, and he went through a lot of trials and tribulations, and he's like the college player of the year, right? I get what you're saying, like somebody like Zion, who comes out and then boom,
Yeah,
superstar. But how many Zions are there?
Like, I don't watch a lot of college basketball, and one of the reasons why I watched last year is because of Zion. And if he didn't go to college, I would have been watching him on some on some G League team.
But think about it though, that's a handful of college games that you're going to be tuning into. That's going to be nationally televised. Most of these college games, you don't even see them.
Yeah, but they're on TV, so you'll find it. But I'm saying the games that I want to watch, one of the games that I want, like I remember the first time I saw Anthony Davis, you know what I mean? It was like, oh shit, look at this dude, big, like he was man among boys, like you just had to watch it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But now if the colleges don't have that kind of player, I don't know how much I'm gonna watch. I might be more prone to watch them on a G League team if they're showing that.
Dude, you're gonna watch March Madness, man, regardless who's playing or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I'm not a big college guy. So if there's a big name on there, I'll watch it. But I'm just saying they're not gonna crumble, but they're gonna lose some money.
Yeah, of course. And if they continue not paying kids, overseas is still an option for these kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, in that sense, they could still be in trouble. And I just hope they create some kind of allowance for their students. I get it. They have a scholarship. Okay, they go to school for free.
But they're bringing way more money than the scholarship is.
Right, they're bringing in way more money.
Way more money.
They don't have any time to work. Like, I can understand if they had time to work and actually get some money on their own, but they don't, and they're traveling all the time. So if the scholarship is $50,000 a year, they're bringing, I don't know, $500,000 to the school. Easy.
Absolutely.
If not more.
Listen, man. If tuition is $50,000, you can hold $50,000 for each student to actually spend for the year.
Exactly.
No, for sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, you can easily do that. How many players are on one team? The coach is getting paid like $10 million. Like, why can't the kids get a piece of the pie?
Right, let the kids eat. Seriously.
Right. If you're gonna send them to war, though, you can have their parents sign them over at 16.
Yep.
And you pay them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think that's a discussion for another time too. But I mean, I'm glad for the G League, because then that makes it more legit. That gets them more eyes, and I hope they get more polished players to give out a better product. because I do think the NBA is doing itself a disservice if it doesn't have its own farm system, right?
Yep.
That's true, right.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I always. I'm coming from my first sport. My first sport was soccer,
Yeah.
and all the soccer teams always have a B team, like a team that's below where they farm players to. Like players can come in at 12 years old, actually. 12 years old and start getting ready to be a pro. And I always thought, how come the NBA doesn't have like a farm system where they can bring in young players and sort of develop them through the years, and then once they get 18, I don't know, 16, 18, and then they can, if they're good enough, they can become professionals. I always thought about that, and I think now that they're doing that, it's not gonna be a farm system, but it's gonna be at least similar to that.
You know what their farm system is?
What?
College.
Pretty much.
That's what it was. But now these guys are demanding we get money. So
Yeah.
now you actually gotta have an established farm system where these guys are pros before they're pros, like baseball, right? You got the grapefruit leagues, right? You got the AAA ball or whatever.
AAA, you got AA and
AA, all those.
Right.
They got a farm system where they got guys in there that's been there since they were like 16, getting ready to, skyrocket. So NBA, man, you're going in the right direction, and I hope it continues. And I don't know, $500,000 doesn't sound bad to me as a college kid. I mean, as a kid coming out of high school.
It doesn't sound bad to me right now.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, they're probably gonna get $250,000 out of that, but that's still, you can help your family.
So.
Right.
Exactly. That's the look I had on when the reports about Dak Prescott came out. Oh, I can't feed my family. What?
Yeah, I hope that wasn't real. I hope that was fake. I really, really hope he did not really actually say that, and that's like a true statement. Because you're right, that's the most asinine thing I've ever heard someone ever say, that they can't support their family with $34 million. Like, you must be like freaking Antonio Cromartie and have like 10 different BMs and freaking like at least 30 different children or something like that for you to say that. Like, this dude doesn't even have a family yet, and he's already saying, oh, I can support my family with $34 million. Like, bro, who are you to say that? Like, I'm shaking my head like that. That is absolutely outrageous and absurd for him to say that. So no, but shout outs to Jalen Green and that other prospect who just entered the G League system, and we'll be going through that next year for sure. They definitely deserve to have a program like that for the prospects, and I'm glad that they're going to be able to help out their families, moving forward, and will be able to gain some sort of profit through being part of this new system that the NBA is implementing. So, it's definitely the future is bright for the NBA G League and the prospects that enter this system.
Facts, man. Let's continue with the NBA though. NBA playoffs was supposed to start this weekend.
Yep.
Right? Man, that would be nice right now.
I know, yeah, that would be great.
Right, that would be really nice right now.
Yes, I'm so sad and
Yeah, it was supposed to start, but coronavirus, man. It was actually reported this week that several players in the NBA have tested positive for coronavirus, but they're not putting names out for privacy reasons, and I'm sure they don't want to panic people.
Yep.
They might want to drop and stuff like that. So I commend them. And players are still getting the coronavirus. Von Miller this week, right?
That's right.
And the linemen from the Chargers, they got it now.
The Rams actually with their center, Brian Allen.
Yeah, people are still catching this stuff, and that's why we don't have the playoffs right now. But if they were supposed to start right now, We'd have the Lakers facing the Grizzlies. Well, we'd have the Grizzlies facing the Lakers. And then we'd have the Mavericks going against the Clippers. We'd have the Rockets against the Nuggets, and Thunder versus the Jazz. That's in the Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference, we'd have the Bucks versus the Magic, Raptors versus the Nets, Celtics versus 76ers, and Heat versus Pacers, right? So those would be the matchups if the NBA playoffs was supposed to start how it's supposed to regularly start. And they did that with the seedings that everybody has currently, too. So there's a couple of interesting matchups in there. What do you guys think, though, with these matchups?
They're pretty good matchups, particularly out in the Western Conference. I like the Nuggets and Rockets one. That's the 3-6 matchup. I think that will definitely be one hell of a series to watch and fun to watch. And what's interesting about that series is that you have a contrast of two playing styles. With the Nuggets, they like to play, more big. They have Jokic, they have Paul Millsap, two very good, skilled, big men that, can do, that are versatile, can do multiple things. And then you have the Houston Rockets, who are all about the small ball right now. They're all about, the guards and the wings and, the three-point shooting and, and having and spreading the floor and making you guard the whole length of the court, with their outside shooting and ability to drive to the basket. So that would definitely be a really, fun and exciting series to watch. And then I also like the Utah Jazz and the OKC one. I think that would probably would have been the most competitive series in the first round in the West, and I would definitely have seen that going into a being a long series and going into a 6-7 game series, because I think those teams are that close as they were on record, being only one game apart.
Who you got in that series?
In that series, I would probably take. That's a tough one. I would probably take the Jazz just because they would have home court advantage, but I could see the OKC upsetting the Jazz as well. I wouldn't be too surprised about that, but I'd probably lean towards Utah just because home court, and we all know how important and huge home court is in the NBA playoffs. That would be definitely one hell of a series to watch, and probably the best, series in the first round with, how close those teams are and, and how, and how competitive, but they are. So that'll definitely certainly be fun to watch in the West.
Yeah, Flag.
I think the matchups. This will be the first round, so the good matchups are pretty obvious. Like Nugget Rockets is my top matchup in the West. Besides that, I feel as though the home team will win the other matchups. Like Lakers are gonna beat the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Clippers are they have to beat the Mavericks. That'd be shocking. Jazz versus Thunders. I think like Bear was saying, that is a close matchup, but I have to give it to the Jazz. The Jazz, they've been knocking on the door the last couple of years, and I feel as though for them to, if they fall to the Thunders in the first round, that would have been crazy. So I think the Jazz has to take that. The Nuggets versus the Rockets, that would have been a really nice matchup to watch. Especially to test the small ball strategy that they have going on. But I think the Nuggets would have won.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely the Nuggets and Rockets is definitely a crazy matchup. I don't see the Rockets winning against that just because they don't have any big men, and you know, old buddy over there, what's his name? Sneakerhead kid.
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker, you know, would get rocked, you know,
Well,
for a 7-game series against Jokic. It's like,
Exactly.
I get it. You're a good defender, but you're pretty small versus this guy, and he's gonna abuse you for 7 games straight. You're not winning.
So it goes that long, right?
And you know the Rockets would have had a game where they weren't making the threes anymore.
Oh my God, that's all they rely on. Everybody shooting the threes and spacing the floor and letting James and Westbrook, you know, just drive in there. And you could see Jokic just manning it in there, and you can't even go in there. So good luck to that. Jazz and Thunder, I'd actually like the Thunder versus the Jazz, just because I feel like they got so much confidence going into it. You know, Chris Paul and the young guy, they're working pretty great over there.
Alexander, right? Yeah.
They're working pretty great, and they've had some time off, man. You know, the other series that actually worries me is the 76ers versus the Celtics.
Yeah, that worries you?
That actually worries me, right?
Yeah,
not last year. I mean, we beat them in the playoffs the last time we met them, but then this year we beat them one time?
One out of the 4 times that's in the regular season, right?
You know, and our starters have been injured a lot throughout the year, and we can't seem to have 5 starters in the game, you know, for more than 2 games before somebody gets injured and somebody else like Marcus Smart has to step into the starting lineup.
That's true, but this is the playoffs. Y'all don't feel like you necessarily have to worry about that.
Ben Simmons was injured, and now he's healthy again. You know, so they're bigger than us. We have Daniel Tice and Grant Williams.
And it's Cantor
going against Joel Embiid and Al Horford.
It's been trash this year, and Embiid's been inconsistent up and down, and he's been going through some injury.
We haven't done well against like really big guys, really big teams this year, right? In my opinion, anyway. What I've seen, we haven't done it. They've abused us on the boards, and for me, I don't think it's a cakewalk this year. You know, as much as last year against the 76ers the last couple of years. We've had their numbers for the last couple of years, but then we've also beaten them in the regular seasons too. You know, and then this year we have a better team, but we're not winning, and they're dominating us on the glass.
That's true. I get that, John, but the other thing you have to think about is how poorly the Sixers have played on the road this year. They're among the worst teams on the road in the NBA. They're as bad as a lottery team, as a team that's going to get a high pick in the lottery when they play on the road. When they're at home, they're great. They're as good as it gets in the NBA, and they are definitely an elite team when they're playing at home. But since the Celtics would have home court advantage in that series, and I think in that last game and matchup that they did play the Celtics and Sixers, I think the Celtics were able to figure some things out and do some things that they weren't in the first 3 games. I think that certainly would help their confidence and their ability to be able to beat the Sixers. So I guess their lack of size would be concerning in that series. Going against Embiid, and Simmons, who like to play big and go into the paint a lot, and and score from the post. I definitely think that certainly our team defense would have to be really good in that series, because they wouldn't be able to guard those guys one-on-one, particularly Embiid, who absolutely, like you said, torched the Celtics in the post, and they had no answer for him. So, but like I said, he's been up and down this year. So he's with injuries and just his play in general. So you really don't know kind of which Embiid you're gonna get. But no, I still feel pretty good about that matchup if I'm the Celtics, even with their against the Sixers.
Yeah.
This
but
year.
that's what I'm talking about, though. They're one of the best teams playing at home, right?
Correct. If you get them outside of Philly, they're garbage.
It's a 7-game series, so that means we're going 7 games if that's the logic we're using, right? That if they're one of the best teams at home, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be slouching at home in the playoffs against us, right? And they play much better. And they've gotten a lot of time. Well, I think all the teams have gotten a lot of time.
Right,
exactly.
You can say that about any team.
But I definitely worry about them being in our first round. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like with the Celtics, the 76ers being their first round, because usually we're warming up to go see them, right? This time we start off with them right off the bat. They're not the Pacers, right?
Not right. They're not. That's true. They're much more talented and better than the Pacers.
And
right.
Our teams have been going 7-game series for the last couple of years. Like we've pretty much been in 7-game series every series we go into. I don't think
right, with the exception of that Pacers
one.
Series.
Yeah,
right.
We won 5 games, right?
No, it was a 4-game
series. The 5th game we won.
It was a 4-game. We swept them. Yeah, last year.
I thought they won 1 off.
No.
I'm thinking about the 76ers when they won that 1 against us. When we got them in 5. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
But yeah, that's the quickest one I can remember it. I don't know. We haven't been doing good in the playoffs, even though we do have the better coach on the bench with the X's and O's.
That's true. And coach is always a factor in the playoffs for sure.
But Vlad, what do you think about that?
I mean, if I put together what you're saying, John, and what Barry's saying, it equals to the same thing. Barry's saying they're a bad playoff team away from home, but they're really good at home. And you're saying it's gonna be a really tight series, which means it's gonna go to Game 7. You know what I mean? And
that's why I'm worried.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried as well. I don't think it's gonna be an easy. I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk. That's for sure. I mean, the Sixers they've been a decent team this year. Really, actually a pretty good team. I mean, even though they've been pretty bad on the road, I just think this year, if that's a first round team, it's gonna be a long series. It's not gonna be a swept or a 5-game series. It's gonna be a long one. That's for sure.
Yeah. For the sake of time, I just want to wrap up on the NBA. Before we do that, starting next month, NBA players are going to get a 25% pay cut due to the pandemic that's happening. Nobody's working right now, and they're getting paid millions, man. So, what do you guys think about that? For me, I mean, personally, I don't really care because they get enough money anyway, right?
Right.
And there's people out here that are struggling, that have to pay for their homes, and they can't do that right now. And, some landlords are being a-holes and evicting people and stuff like that. So I worry about those people more than I do the NBA. But hopefully those guys have been saving, and paying for their lavish lifestyles and, making sure that they're paying their mortgage instead of buying jewelry or something. So
Right.
That's my take
the bills to pay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a similar take to that for sure. You kind of figured that the players were going to at some point during this pandemic and situation that we're going through, they were going to have to take some sort of a pay cut and a little bit of less pay than what they were making before they weren't going to get their full amount of their contract money. So, but like you said, they're getting plenty of money and more than enough money than the average worker out there. So they definitely have to do a better job of managing their money and budgeting and spending it wisely and financially being responsible. Even though I know some of those guys aren't really used to that and don't live that kind of lifestyle because they like to be ballers and ball out and and do big things, but they definitely need to be a lot more smarter about, you know, how they, you know, on this
Right, about
and
the
how the, you know, their, you know, what their, you know, financially, you know, responsibilities are. They need to take care of those things
yeah,
first. And
yeah,
so,
Vlad, how you feel about that?
I just think that the owners have they have a lot of money. Those owners are billionaires, millionaires. So I'm wondering why exactly do the players have to suffer, and not the
They're not
owner?
performing.
Huh?
They're not performing. They usually get like game checks and stuff like that, right?
no, they get paid monthly.
They don't get game checks?
They get paid every 15th of the month.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. But I'm sure that's still a good, hefty.
That's it's still more than enough to last you that month, or to last you at least a couple of months.
I mean,
Right, like it's good enough to last you a while. So
I get it. I just don't want it to be all on the players. I think the players signed the contracts. They should be getting paid for it. I think those those owners have way too much money to be either complaining about the player's salary.
The owners are losing money too.
Yeah, but
You know, the games are not on TV. They're not getting advertisement money. They're not getting ticket sales.
come on, guys. We know
If
we
I'm
know how much
paying,
we know how much money those owners have. They can afford it.
I'm just saying, like, to be fair, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm sure my job will not keep me on payroll if, you know, this thing's going to go for a year, right?
They can afford it. My job right now, they've been telling us we good, we good. Don't worry about anything. So if I mean, and I know my job is not paying me, $1 million a year or $20 million a year, but I feel as though those owners can make the sacrifice. Like I mean, it's true they're only taking 25%, which is okay. I mean, they could have taken more, but I just think those owners have money. They're good. The players shouldn't have, because I know a lot of players make a lot of money, but some players don't make that much compared to these other guys.
That's true. Hey, man, they're still getting paid way more than us. You
Oh
know?
yeah, that's
I don't feel bad. I know Barry don't feel bad. All right.
no,
Barry still got to go to work, okay?
exactly.
Guys,
I'm still out there working.
yeah, guys sitting at home for 5 weeks, not shooting. Why are we paying you? All right? Why are we paying you?
Exactly.
Okay?
For real.
You don't even have a hoop, my guy. We're not paying. Okay, 25% cut right off.
that's disappointing that they don't have.
Yeah, but yeah. For the sake of time, let's just move on to the NFL, man. A lot of things going on with the NFL right now. One big name that's going on right now is Tua, who is going to get drafted next week. He's definitely going to get drafted, but it's about where he's going to get drafted and what that's going to do to the rest of the draft. What that's going to do to the everybody's seeding. People are going to trade. Because he has some issues, man. You know, he has a hip issue. He didn't participate in the combine. He didn't do much at the pro day. I mean, recently I've seen videos of him passing and stuff, but I don't know too much about that. But teams are trying to err on the side of caution, and you know, he's a really highly ranked prospect, but teams don't really know what to do just because of his hip injury. You know, that's the same injury that took out Bo Jackson.
Yep,
Right?
that's right.
Yeah. Have you guys been paying attention to his situation?
Yeah, I've been paying attention to his situation a little bit. And, you know, I can definitely see why this cause for concern with, you know, a lot of teams that are high in the draft and or, you know, would be in position to draft him while they have kind of a red flag and, you know, I'm thinking twice before drafting him. So, I mean, I can definitely see why that's the case since, you know, he's had, you know, durability issues throughout his, you know, college career, not only with the hip, I think he had a couple other injuries as well that he was, you know, had suffered when he was with Alabama. So that's definitely a big question mark, even though he is really talented and among the most talented, not only quarterbacks, but prospects in this draft. And if it wasn't for the injuries, I'd probably say he'd easily be a top 5 pick. But he'll probably end up going a little bit outside of the top 5, but I still think he'll be in the top 10, despite of, of what has, transpired recently. So I don't think he'll fall off too much, as far as what his projected to be getting drafted in the draft. But I can see why, teams would pass up on him and not, trust that he can, be a franchise guy and be able to play all 16 or 17 games as, the league is getting into this year, or next year. But it certainly is, a thing to, look out for, moving forward to see how well he can bounce back from this injury and, if he can be able to, be more durable and then stay healthy, move forward. Hopefully he does, because I'm rooting for him. He's a, tremendously talented player, and I think he'll, do well and have a successful career in the NFL as, long as he is able to stay on the field. But yeah, we'll have to see how, that happens and, who he goes to and how they, use him depending on the system and the playbook that he, is going to be using. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Vlad, you pay attention to it all?
Yeah, the NFL draft is like one of the most unpredictable drafts. Like, you know what I mean? And right now, there's so much discussion about Tua, about where is he gonna drop to the 3rd round? Is he gonna drop to the 2nd round? Mark Kuiper.
Third? No.
Yeah, exactly. Not that, though. Yeah, I haven't heard.
Yeah,
that.
Right.
What?
If he goes past 20, the Patriots take him.
Right. Facts.
Past 15, the Patriots take him.
right. No.
Like, they will package something and move down to like 16 and grab him.
Right. They have a bunch of picks that he can do out of trade. Right.
Yeah, I just think that he's gonna go within the first 10 picks. I think that's what's gonna.
Absolutely.
I think
definitely top 10, no doubt.
I think that's what's gonna happen. They've been linking him to the Patriots a little bit because of the Belichick and Saban connection. But I think it's gonna be a reach. I don't think the Patriots are gonna. I don't think the Patriots are gonna spend that much draft capital to draft him, and I don't think the Patriots have enough draft capital to trade up and draft him. I think he's gonna go up early. I think all the noise that they're making is all the noise that they always make about the big prospects with the NFL draft. I think it's nothing, to be honest. Like, he's gonna get drafted. Like, I remember watching the NFL draft a couple of years ago, and I saw the Browns draft Johnny Manziel in the 1st round, and I was like, yo, if I can see Johnny Manziel sucks, why can't they see Johnny Manziel sucks? You know what I mean? Like,
maybe sell tickets.
So I think he's gonna go up early, and it's true that he had the injury, but videos came out. He's throwing really hard. I think he's gonna go too.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not making it out of the 1st round. I guarantee that for sure. If you're gonna watch the draft, it's actually next Thursday, April 23rd.
This coming Thursday.
Yeah, this coming Thursday.
Can't wait.
23rd usually starts 6-7 p.m.
No, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah,
Okay, 8
for
p.m.
time. 8
Gotta
p.m.
be money ready.
Oh yeah, yes sir, always ready.
Yeah. All right, tonight, last dance, 9 p.m. Draft 8 p.m. Tune in. All right. If you want to know more about this stuff, follow us. ProFans_sports. Instagram, all right? Facebook.com/ProFans.
Nice, nice.
Right? Yeah. And then get us on YouTube too. Subscribe. You know, we need 100. We need 100 people. You know, so we can start cranking out more content for you. So with that said, let's just keep on going. Tua, man, I've seen him. He's a baller. I think he gets injured because the fact that he's a baller like that.
Yeah.
Competitive. He's gonna go in wherever. And you know, hopefully he has a really good long career. If the Patriots can do something and move down, you know, while I'm speaking, you know, there was rumors going around the NFL this week that the Patriots were potentially trying to move to the number 3 pick with the Lions, who you guys know actually have a lot of affiliations with the Patriots. So,
yep.
You know, I saw some people tweeting about it. I didn't tweet back about it because, you know, there's a lot of rumors around these times, right? And people will say anything to get other teams to move up the draft board, or, you know, they're using, hey, the Patriots want to move up, and then boom, you pick a player you think the Patriots are going to want, but then in reality, they're looking at a whole different player. So, I don't know about that. How would you guys feel if we move to the third? If we move to the 3rd pick, who are you guys picking?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one.
You picking Tua or Herbert? I think that's a question.
That is the question. I mean, we're not,
sure.
It's not like we're gonna pick, I don't know, running back or some other, or like a defensive lineman or offense. No, it's gonna be Tua or Herbert. I never liked Herbert. Every time I watch his highlights, I just never liked them.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had to pick between both of them, it's gonna be Tua. But I don't want us to draft a quarterback that high.
I always look at players and look at their last names, and you just look at, like, Usain Bolt. You know that guy. He must be fast. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? That guy must be good at something. You know, Michael Jordan. That guy. You know, and then you hear Justin Herbert. So. Oh,
I don't know,
bro. I don't know about Herbert.
Hold up, John. Yeah. So now, can you say Tua's last name?
Tua, exactly. Tagovailoa or something like that. That guy. He's probably gonna be something in the league. Just because of his messed up ass last name, right? You know? It's always some. I don't know, to me, like, the people that make it, they always have some kind of unique name or something about them to actually make them, you know, that popular or whatever. I just don't. Justin Herbert doesn't move the needle for me. So if we made it to the 3rd pick, man, you better pick Tua, boy. I don't care if he sits down this whole year, man. Pick that boy, because next year, you know, we balling. Like, he had, like a 90% completion rate or something like that?
Yeah, it's complete. It is pretty. I don't know if it's 90%.
No, it's up there, bro.
Like, his completion
percentage. Yes. Yo, I gotta.
You just look that up. I don't think it's 90, but I thought it was like in like the high 70s or close to 80. But I mean, it is pretty good. He is a pretty accurate guy and can definitely make all the throws. You know, short, intermediate, and deep as well. So. No.
90 sounds kind of high.
Huh?
90 sounds kind of high.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's that high. Right? I think it was like in the 70s. Like, I'd probably say like high 70s.
High 70s?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is right here. I think I pulled the right stuff up. But we're gonna revisit that the next podcast.
We'll definitely,
because I'm sure I was listening to Trent Dilfer, and he was like, yeah, he has the highest percentage rate in college history or something like that. So that's why I came up with that number. So I definitely want to see that.
Joe Burrow, but we'll talk about that next episode.
Joe Burrow, talking about Joe Burrow, who was projected to go number 1. If Tua was still healthy, he'd probably be the number one pick, right? And then Joe Burrow would be the person we're talking about right now.
Really? You think he'd be higher than Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow was in nowhere until Tua got injured, and then he took the spot.
He balled out last year.
He balled out.
Him play last year.
Yeah, but
like the man was balling from game 1 to game 15.
Yeah, that's right. But still, the main guy was Tua, right? He was the guy in the spotlight, Heisman, number 1, and then boom, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
If Tua was fully healthy, he'd be the guy in the spotlight right now that would be, getting ready to be drafted.
But even after the year that Joe Burrow just had?
I don't know if Joe Burrow has that year. Alabama still.
I still think he does. I
think he goes into the national chip.
Oh, for sure, definitely. But as dominant and as consistent and precise and accurate as that he was, without question, no doubt in my mind, he is the best quarterback and the most deserving to be the number 1 pick in this draft, without any doubt or question.
If Tua was fully healthy, I have no doubts, and I'm completely 1,000% confident in saying that, and I stand by that. Yeah, Barry's going against the experts.
I like it.
I like it. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys feel me on that.
Yeah, of course. There's some other things that are happening in the league, other than Tua, who's going to go in there. There's been some potential trade rumors that's happening. Leonard Fournette, OBJ potential trades, potentially trading up in the draft would be the Jags moving to 4th. There's a lot of things going on, as we've come to have been accustomed to during these weeks, right before the draft, and then right after the draft, everything explodes because everybody's doing their trades right after that.
Yeah.
But Leonard Fournette is a big name, I thought, and OBJ the biggest name, which I heard that rumor wasn't actually very true because I'm hearing it's coming from the Minnesota's team. But Leonard Fournette, this guy was just talking about that. He's a Tim Duncan of the Jags, and now they're like, we're going to trade you.
Oh, really? He said that?
He said that. He's like, I'll never get traded. I'm like the Tim Duncan. I was like,
oh, God. He spoke a little bit too soon, bro.
You're making a lot of money next year, brother.
Right. Yeah, that, and I also heard that he spoke about how he would like for the Jaguars to, to go and get Cam Newton and bring Cam Newton in, right, and have him compete with Gardner Minshew for the starting job next year. So, no, I heard he was saying that on the first tape this week.
Yeah.
I was Stephen A. and Max Kellerman.
If I was Gardner, I'd be pissed off. What the hell are you talking about? Like, it's my team. But, that's how it is.
Right, there was a reason why they just traded Nick Foles to the Bears, because they want Minshew to be the guy in the starter that it's his team now, for sure, or else they don't make that trade because they paid Foles a whole lot of money, and unfortunately they didn't think that he could live up to that. So, yeah, I don't know why he would say that they would be interested, or they should be interested in make Cam Newton an offer, right? Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous, that he came out on the record to say that on first take.
Yeah, man. A couple weeks ago, I did this poll on ProFans_sports on Instagram, right? I did a poll, ProFans_sports. I asked, I compared 2 running backs. One of them was Derrick Henry from
Tennessee.
And then I did a face-off with him against Christian McCaffrey, who just became the highest paid running back in the league.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yep.
History? Is that it? Was it history or in the league?
In the league, I believe.
The league.
I think it was history too, right? But yes, definitely.
Yeah, man. When we're seeing that the NFL is kind of like going away from, kind of like devaluing the running back. The Panthers are just like, nah, we're gonna pay Christian McCaffrey
Well, he's different though.
That's different. He is different.
Hey, by the way, he did win the poll by like 80% or something, which I was upset about. I'm
like his ability to catch the ball is like unlike any other right now.
Not even like Saquon Barkley.
I think he's done more.
You think he's better than Saquon?
I would say so.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right now, he.
That's gonna be my next poll. All right, Saquon versus Christian McCaffrey. We're gonna see what Instagram says.
Right now, he's definitely better than Saquon.
Than Saquon, without question. Absolutely. No doubt about that. But I don't think we've really seen much from Saquon. I think we can see a lot more from him because Saquon, is only a rookie in the box. Exactly one season, and let's see, he's gone a lot with 8 men in the box when Christian McCaffrey's already played 3 seasons and has played at a high level and is a lot more proven, that he can, not only, run the football, but he can catch, the football. You can, line him up in the slot and on the outside. So he has, but Cam Newton struggled last year and has been struggling the last couple years as well. So he's definitely been the best player on that team for the last 2 years, and it's been proven that he's the face of the franchise and the focal point of that offense, even when Cam Newton was there, since Cam Newton was able to stay healthy and he wasn't as nearly as productive as he was a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is he had Cam Newton, regardless if he was hurt or not, you're going to be wary of Cam Newton taking off on you. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely benefited from that for the last couple of years until last year where Cam Newton had to leave.
And he still played well.
He still played well. This year, though, with the new guys they got coming in, I don't know if defenses are going to key on him and dare Teddy Bridgewater to win the games. So we'll see how that goes.
I know you don't believe in Bridgewater as much as I do, but if that's what they're gonna be doing, trust me, Teddy's gonna win that game.
Yeah, really like Teddy.
I do.
I need to see stuff before I saw him with the Saints. The Saints have crazy talent. You know what I'm saying? So I need to see him do it with a lesser team. He started doing his things with the Vikings before he got injured, but then.
The only thing is, this year sucks for everybody. He's not gonna get the time to get familiar with the playbook the way he's supposed to, get familiar with his receivers. So this year might be kind of hard, but I believe in Teddy.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on here. I mean, the last thing I wanted to talk about as far as the NFL was like the quarterback needy teams. Who do you think's picking quarterbacks this year?
Well, Cincinnati for sure.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Miami.
Yep.
Do you think Miami picks Tua? Do you think they pick Tua or Herbert?
I'm telling y'all, don't go with Herbert.
I think they pick Tua. I think they pick Tua over Herbert. Right. Okay.
I could be wrong about Herbert, but I'm standing by that right now.
You got the Jags that need a quarterback. Do you think they go quarterback or do the Minshew experiment again?
They might want to get somebody. I mean, Minshew played okay last year, but they don't know if he's really the guy. So I think they might want to get somebody either to push him or somebody else that they believe in.
Okay. What do we think about the Bucks? Do the Bucks draft a quarterback this year?
Oh yeah, in the later rounds.
That's true. To develop someone, for a couple of years while Brady's at them and to be able to learn from him. So no, I can see that. Another team I can see them drafting a quarterback is the Chargers.
The Chargers definitely. They're up there too. I was actually having an argument with this Bucks Nation guy. I told him, you guys definitely need a quarterback. He's like, nah, we good. I'm like, bro, Tom Brady is 43 years old, man. Like, Unless you're planning on keeping Jameis Winston, which you're not going to do.
Right.
You're drafting a quarterback. I actually bet him $5, so I'm expecting $5.
Well, one of the things somebody mentioned in his piece in the Players Tribune is mentoring young players, and I bet you when he signed with the Bucks, one of the things he talked about with Bruce Arians was, I want to mentor the next quarterback.
That'd be good for him because he hasn't been, he's been pretty reluctant to actually help anybody else but himself, which is understandable because you're competing.
And that's how he does.
Man, train somebody.
Exactly.
Okay?
Right. Your time is up and your window is closing.
Listen,
right.
Hopefully all last year he was in Stidham's ears like, yo, just do this, do that, do this. I'm gone next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, get ready. I'm out of there.
Right. Your time is coming. Exactly. Right.
Watch what I do here. Hopefully he actually did that for us. And, he said nobody's a bigger fan than him and the Patriots. I hope you prepared Stidham as well as you could. Okay. And if you haven't, get him into your house and train that boy. It's possible.
Right.
But quarterback needy teams, the Patriots going to draft a quarterback? Do you think they draft a quarterback high?
I don't think they should. I personally don't think they should. I don't know if they will, but I personally don't think they should draft. I think they should draft one, but not high.
I think they should draft high, man.
Nah.
Yeah, at least the second round, man.
Probably see the second and third round. Right.
They don't have a second round pick right now, but
that's true.
Trade. Make your trade, Bill.
You can trade up, exactly.
Okay, if you're not gonna pick somebody in the first round, like a quarterback, trade back, okay, and then get the guy you want, and then get a quarterback in the second round, right? Because I know we have Stidham, but it never hurts to have competition. And what if you get a better person than Stidham?
Exactly.
Listen.
I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't draft a quarterback. I just don't think, just like you guys are saying, it shouldn't have been the first round.
No, I don't think it should be the first round for sure.
That's true, because they do have a lot of needs that they need to fulfill and dress on the roster.
They're actually projected to take this linebacker
from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, Murray, I like him. I was watching some highlights of him. He's a baller.
Looks kind of nice. That would be a good.
He reminds me of Mayo, Gerard Mayo, who's actually my favorite linebacker of all time with the Patriots.
Really?
Yeah, because I've seen him get drafted number 10 overall, and then I followed him the rest of his career. Like, that guy was a tackling machine while Patrick Willis was playing. If Patrick Willis wasn't playing, I think Gerard Mayo is the number one linebacker in the league in that time period.
What about Hightower?
Hightower's he's a big player, but I'm talking about my favorite player all time. Okay, I love Hightower. Demeanor, leadership. The guy had a green dot on his helmet since he was, a rookie. So that was really impressive to me. And he actually interacts on Instagram too. Like, I'll comment and he'll like it and comment that. I'm like, yo, this is that dude. You know what I'm saying? So family man. It's not just about the stuff you're doing in the field. There's a lot of stuff that factor into it for me when I'm picking like my favorite plays and stuff like that.
Well, make sure you keep commenting on his shit so that he can be a guest on the podcast.
Right,
Coach Mayo, what up?
Yes. Have Coach Mayo pull up. Exactly.
Pull up, Coach. We'll give you the invite right now if you're hearing this. Come through. Yes, sir. Yeah,
he's more than
right here.
Right.
Once this quarantine thing is over,
it's over.
Pull up.
Yeah, swing through.
I got the beers on deck.
Right, back.
Whatever you need, we'll have it.
That's right.
Right. Facts.
But as far as I don't have anything else I want to discuss today, man. So we've been speaking to you guys for an hour and 40. Well, actually, it says 147 on here. I don't know what that translates to as far as like an hour and whatever. But it's been a while now, so we're gonna end the podcast. Right, but before we do that, just don't forget to add us on all social media platforms, okay? Facebook and Twitter, ProFan Sports, Instagram, ProFans_sports. I've been saying all show. Catch us on YouTube. My man Vlad right here is cutting up the videos and throwing them up, giving you content on a weekly basis. Subscribe to us. We also do have merch for you too. So if you want to get some merch, redbubble.com/people/profansports. We got, all your merch for you. From shirts to cups, man. Whatever you need is going to be on there. Hopefully they got masks on there for us too. So, Profan Sports podcast.
Yo, John.
Yes, sir.
One of my boys hit me up. He said he was looking for a sweater, but we didn't have a sweater.
On Profan Sports?
On Redbubble.
Oh, okay. Actually, I didn't see a sweater either. So
yeah, so I don't know if that's something that we can get going, but
I'm sure we could. Right?
Yeah, we probably could, because I saw hoodies, like sweatshirts, but not like sweaters.
Not ours. Okay, I see what you're saying. No, I'll have my graphic guy work and put up some sweaters for you guys if you guys want them. It's still sweater season. And then, summer season's coming up. We got the tank tops and all that too,
Oh,
man.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I even got some gear last week, so I'm waiting for my Profan Sports gear to come in this week. So on next week's show, I can start rocking it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
We're going to do some giveaways too, man. Profan Sports for the fans of the pros, though. All right, so check us out next week. You have another episode coming for you, episode number 5, and we good, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.
Peace.
All right.